Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming how we can conduct the research.
We are using AI in some really practical ways.
We must ensure that every institution, no matter its location or resources, benefits equally from AI advancement.
Low digital literacy, we start off with digital literacy as a problem and we're bringing AI on top of it.
Very near future, the AI will be very cost effective so that our student and researcher, they will be able to use and it will be very affordable for us.
Artificial intelligence empowered simulators to train our students.
Every few decades, humanity encounters a turning point. Not a new app, not a new gadget, but a force so profound it shapes how we learn, how we lead, and how we live. That force is artificial intelligence. But AI isn't just about machines, it's about people, it's about who gets to shape the future and who might get left behind. Today, we're not just hosting a discussion, we're building a global table where voices from Cairo to Colombo, from Sydney to South Africa, all across the globe come together, not to compete, but to collaborate. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from everywhere across the world, and welcome to the Global Table discussion on AI research and innovations. It's a true honor to have such a rich gathering of brilliant minds here today with us from Australia, India, Bangladesh, Egypt, South Africa, Sri Lanka, and the Philippines, and much beyond. Today, we're not here to chase hype. We're here to share what's real, what's working, what still needs work. AI is already transforming how we research, how we teach, and how we innovate. But for it to truly serve all of us, we need an open dialogue, human-centered thinking, and courageous collaboration. This is exactly what ExpertGate was built for. Whether you're an academic, researcher, policymaker, or practitioner, we're here creating a new digital space for members like you to connect, share knowledge, and build meaningful partnerships across disciplines and borders. We'll begin with an opening remark from our program chair, Professor Mohammed Mamun Habib. Then we'll hear a series of 2-minute lightning talks from our global speakers, short, sharp insights into how AI is reshaping research, education, and innovation in their context. After that, we dive into roundtable discussions moderated by Professor Habib, where we'll tackle big questions and spark cross-border collaboration. We'll open up for audience questions via chat, so feel free to note your thoughts as the talks unfold, and we'll end with closing reflections and a few words of appreciation. So once again, thank you for being here, not just as participants, but as partners in something bigger. Let's get started. Please join me in welcoming our program chair, visionary researcher and global connector, Professor Mohammed Mamun Habib. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Mr. John. Really, what you said, this is our global research platform, and we have to give a special thanks to the organizer, ExpertGate, to provide this kind of platform from every corner of the world. They can join and they can share their views. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining with us. As you know, that this is Professor Dr. Mahmoud Habib. I'm very much honored to serve as the chair of this global discussion. Today's dialogue is a true convergence of minds across nations. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming how we can conduct the research, deliver the academics, particularly the education research, and drive the innovation for creativity. Our speakers will now provide brief insights into how artificial intelligence is impacting their local and sectoral context as well as global context. Let's begin. So we like to start by the Dr. Shandeep Mathur. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, now's the time for you.
Thank you, Dr. Habib. Good afternoon from Sydney. It's a real pleasure to be part of this global conversation on AI research and innovation. Over the past 20 years, I have worked across private, public, and non-profit sectors, and I have seen AI shift from a promising concept to something that's now shaping how organizations think, plan, and act. In my current role at Greenpeace Australia Pacific as head of data and engineering, we are using AI in some really practical ways, from improving how we engage with supporters to using propensity and climate models to guide our decision making. What's exciting is how these tools can genuinely enhance impact when used thoughtfully. At the same time, I think it's critical that we don't lose sight of the human side of AI. Responsible innovation isn't just about building smarter systems, it's about making sure those systems reflect the values of the communities they serve. And that includes tackling algorithmic bias and designing with diversity and inclusion in mind from the start. Australia has a strong research ecosystem and a growing culture of interdisciplinary collaboration, which puts us in a great position to lead on these conversations. I'm looking forward to learning from everyone here today and exploring how we can build AI systems that are not only powerful, but also ethical and inclusive. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shandeep. Based on his conversation, we got the very key point, research ecosystems. As I'm familiar with the ExpertGate in the research, different research project. So basically, we are also working for this one, the collaborative research works. And another one thing Dr. Shandeep mentioned about the data driven, so big data. So it could be one of the parameters for the artificial intelligence. And finally, he also mentioned about the human side, like ethical driven research works. So maybe our other speaker, they can add more values. Now we'd like to invite Dr. Mohammed Riyad from Australia. Dr. Riyad, please.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be part of this global discussion on AI, research, and innovations. My name is Dr. Mohammed Riyad. I am a Director of Global Research Partnership at ExpertGate. So my current role, basically, I'm working with researchers from many countries and diverse background. What I have seen, how AI research and innovation are now, the our researchers, they are very closely, they are working. I have seen AI is helping us to do research more faster, better, and new ways. So if we look in Australia perspective, in Australia, our Australian government, they took strong step to support in the future of AI. The government has launched a national strategy and agency of like TAXA, which look after quality of higher education in Australia. TAXA are now providing guidance on ethical and responsible use of AI in our university. This include how to use AI in our teaching, research, and assessment in the way that are fair and transparent and ethical. This effort shows Australian government to using AI is not just purpose of using, but also for task, safety, and useful for human welfare. However, I have, as a director of global research partnership, I have seen also, the working with parts of the world. I have seen that many researchers around the world still they do not have the same access to tools like AI or system that we are, accessing. So that's why we ExpertGate, we building the world largest AI-powered research lab, both online and offline. So researchers from everywhere can collaborate, share their knowledge, and work real problem together. Our goal is very simple, to make research more open, inclusive, globally connected. We want to ensure that AI benefit for everyone, not just a few countries like Dubai, right? Yeah. Let's keep building platform where experts from across the border can create, publish, collaborate, and contribute to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Riyad. What you understood from his conversations that ExpertGate, they like to work with the global platform to ensure that data will be the free research platform. There is no boundary so that we can join this kind of platform. So thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Hatem from the Egypt. Dr. Hatem, you can share your opinion about the influence of the AI in our research platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, all of you. It's my pleasure to be part of this global discussion about the AI innovation and research. Morning, everyone. I'm joining you from Egypt, Cairo, where the promise of artificial intelligence in higher education is both exciting and challenging. AI is transforming the way we learn and collaborate nowadays. It's paving the way of personalized learning experience, tailoring education and individual needs in a way we couldn't imagine a decade before. At the same time, it's breaking new ground in research collaboration, connecting scholars across borders to solve complex problems with unparalleled speed and creativity. Yet, that transformative as AI can be, we are not there yet when it comes to equity. Access remains a significant hurdle here in Egypt. Too many institutions, especially in under-resourced regions, struggle to tap into AI potential due to gap in funding, infrastructure, or even expertise. This disparity risks leaving entire communities behind the AI revolutions, and we cannot let them happen. So, how do we move forward from this point? It starts with our commitment. It starts with ExpertGate and its efforts. We must ensure that every institution, no matter its location or resources, benefits equally from AI advancement. This means investing in open source tools to democratize the access for the AI, building networks that foster global collaborations, and pushing for policies that prioritize inclusivity. It's about breaking down barriers, geographic barriers, institutional, and even economic barriers, so that AI becomes a shared opportunity, not a privilege for a few. In short, AI's potential in higher education is immense, but its success hangs on equity. By working together, we can create a future where personalized learning and innovative research are within reach for all. Thank you for letting me joining this table discussions. I'm eager to dive into the discussion with you in details.
Thank you, Dr. Hatem. You have rightly pointed out that AI is enabling personalized learning as well as research collaboration. So you have to work together and keep in mind the human and AI should be work together. Thank you. Now I'd like to move to the South Africa. Dr. Ravuni, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, Prof. Habib.
So now you're the different continent from Africa region. So we'd like to know from you that what is happening AI in the research and innovation in South Africa. Thank you.
100%. Thank you so much, ExpertGate, for the opportunity to be here. We actually hearing a lot about the global discourse on leveraging advanced technologies for public good is intensifying, as other people have said. So ExpertGate Roundtable provides us a critical international platform to explore how artificial intelligence and robust innovation frameworks can fundamentally reshape public service delivery and research. So from South Africa, we have a unique, compelling case study for exploration. We are characterized by socioeconomic landscape that is dynamic and challenging. The profound diversity and multilingualism is actually central to its identity, with 11 languages reflecting rich tapestry of cultures and tradition. Therefore, what it does, it provides us with a huge pressure to be diverse in terms of using AI. Furthermore, we have digital divide, disparities in technology access to blue-collar communities. This inequality, internet connectivity, device affordability, digital literacy, impact rural and historical communities. What does AI therefore means for us in education and research? It therefore means that as a country, we need to be able to start thinking differently. This linguistic diversity presents a challenge of knowledge dissemination, but AI, NLP are powerful solutions in our case to break the language barriers, empowering users to ask questions in their own words, in their own languages, regardless of technical jargon. So we are actually poised, developing a framework where we want to bridge the digital divide through AI education and digital infrastructure, and emphasizing ethical AI usage and principles of fairness, transparency, and accountability. So in our way of saying what are our next steps, the capacity of AI-driven knowledge management system to automate content and summarization coupled with NLP capabilities present us with opportunity to address these language barriers. Given its language disparities and simplicity becomes an important element. The issue that I had about the guardrails and also making sure that the algorithm are actually governed in a proper way to make sure each and every language is represented in this landscape. So I think for us, that will be an important step to make sure that South Africa and its people are able to utilize the AI. So we want to help people improve decision-making, knowledge retention and transfer, enhance collaboration, and compliance support. So with those few words, I say South Africa is poised with huge challenge, but with this is collaboration, we're likely to make it work as a team. Thank you, Dr. Habib.
Thank you, Dr. Rebuni. What we understood that the impact of AI on the language barriers in the South Africa is immense, and definitely, what is my experience, even the Middle East country, a few months before I joined the on international conference, the Qatar. So you're very surprised to see that I was the only one speaker in English, and all other speakers in the Arabian language, and they are
Absolutely.
participating smartly with me. So I was confused. How come? And then when I use the device, and then I understood they are speaking in Arabic, but I can understand very easily. So it seems to me that nowadays the application of the AI, the change, the dimension of the research work, even the different language barrier, we can work together. So that is a very innovation achievement from the AI. At the same time, you also mentioned another one thing, internet issue. So the rural area sometimes very difficult to get the internet issues. So maybe it is another way we have to think that how we can provide this kind of service, maybe the government level or the private sector as well. And particularly this kind of the initiative like the ResearchGate, they can do some of the series of the workshop and seminars, different continents, so that we have to find out the like that this kind of issues, research related issues, and we have come up some of the recommendation for the further development. Thank you, Dr. Revuni. Now I like to go to the like our South Asian country, Sri Lanka. Shirin, are you there? Yes, Dr.
Professor
Shirin,
Habib,
please.
yes.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor Habib and Dr. Riyad Mohammed, giving me the opportunity to discuss with you regarding, I mean, that as a developing country like Sri Lanka. So I born all of you, and I'm actually Shirin Senaratne, nursing educator from Sri Lanka. So I'm happy to be here today to talk about the role of artificial intelligence in healthcare in Sri Lanka. So as a developing country, actually, we are still in the early stage in using in artificial intelligence in Sri Lanka. So most probably we are using artificial intelligence, actually some extent for the healthcare practice, but also for the nursing education system, not only nursing, medical education system. So actually in Sri Lanka, AI is starting to help in training nurses. Now we are using artificial intelligence empowered simulators to train our students. So from that, so previously we have used the real patients. Real patients we use, so that is not safe actually. So artificial intelligence empowered simulators, actually they gave the safe practices for the students as well as for the patients. But the problem is, even though we need to, continue this work, we also have so many challenges. So one challenge is actually, as this from South Africa and other countries don't, so we don't have the cost, the affordability. we have that problem. We can't get the computers. We need to pay for the softwares and for the data storage systems and all. So we don't have that type of, the amount of money, because we have only limited budget for the healthcare resources. And another challenge is that many AI tools are developed in Western countries. So we are speaking in different languages, but also not only the languages, we have some different cultural contexts. So our patients' behaviors are different. So like not other countries, people. Therefore, this is also one of the challenge. And other one is the data system, as you told, as other speakers also told. So in our rural area, so urban area, they may have some computers and also they can enter the data, all the data to the system. But rural areas, they actually they are developing. Still, they are developing. We don't have proper data to get the accurate results by using these AI tools. That is one of the challenge. So as well as internet problem also is there. And also, lastly, I would like to mention, so we don't have the skilled personals. There is a gap in the personals. That they don't have the skills to manage these AI tools. Myself also, we don't have proper knowledge about the using how to use these type of the new tools. Some tools we can manage, but the others we can't do. So as conclusions, we as healthcare professionals, we like to use these for the healthcare practices as well as for the education and also for the research innovations. But also we have some challenges like adaptability, cultural adaptability, affordability, and also we don't have the skilled personals. So those are the gaps. So thank you so much for all the speakers, and thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your opinion from the perspective of the Sri Lanka. And it's not only Sri Lanka perspective, it's a South Asian country perspective, developing country perspective. I like to take some note from that perspective. She already mentioned a few things that what you have to understand to think. Limited budget. So budget constraint. And then the skilled human resource on the AI, and definitely the good side. We already know the good side that the AI, if we apply this one, how can work on that. So maybe I would recommend that as from the ExpertGate, we are working for the global context. And I'm the president and the strategic advisor of the Global Research Partnership at ExpertGate. I like to request you, maybe we can do some of the collaborative works in that sense, that how we can propose this kind of research initiatives to overcome this kind of limitation. And we hope this is the starting of our discussion. So we have to add more values later on. So now I'd like to go to our roundtable discussion. First of all, thank you so much, the speaker, for those powerful insights you provided us. And let's now move into the heart of our event, the roundtable discussion. And we already understand there's a few areas we already focused. You mentioned here, like medical research, healthcare, and maybe the research work activities through the AI. Definitely the chat GPT will be there as well. And there is other key issues, you already mentioned, big data, data-driven, and personalized education system improvement. So now from our all discussion, now we have to move to our first question to you. By the way, I like to give the message to all the audiences, all the participants. You have a chance, you all to also speak with us. We like to hear your voice as well. So after this roundtable discussion, we'll come to you, and you have to prepare in the meantime, and we'll take your question, and so that speakers you can reply your question as well. So our first question: how can we break down the regional and institutional barriers to foster our more effective collaboration in AI-driven research and innovation? So once again, I remind you, we like to focus on a few things: the regional, institutional barriers to foster more effective collaboration in AI research and innovation. So we like to start in the same sequence what we did earlier. So let's share your views, your experience, and possible solutions. And we already mentioned that this is our roundtable discussion. So your opinion will be documented, and based on that, ExpertGate will work on that. So now we like to start from our first one, Dr. Shandip Mathur. Are you there, right?
Yes.
Dr. Shandip, please proceed.
Thank you, Professor Habib. When we talk about global collaboration in AI, I think we need to move beyond just bilateral partnership and start thinking in terms of broader ecosystems, ones that are built on inclusion, mutual benefit, and a very clear sense of shared purpose. I'd like to highlight three areas that I think are key to make this work, and they kind of resonate well with my fellow panel speakers. Starting with the first one, global challenges, local solutions. AI has a huge potential to help us tackle global issues like climate change, pandemics, and education access. But these solutions only work if they are grounded in the local context. And at Greenpeace, we have seen this firsthand. So AI models built in high income countries often don't perform well in lower resource settings. And that has pushed us to work more closely with partners in emerging economies, co-designing tools that reflect local languages, and we've heard that before, data realities and infrastructure. It is a reminder that collaboration works best when it is not just about sharing technology, but sharing ownership. Second, bridging the infrastructure gap. One of the biggest barriers I see to collaboration is still access. Many researchers, especially in underserved regions, just don't have reliable access to cloud platforms, high quality data, or computing resources. So we need to push for more open access platforms, lighter AI models that work in low bandwidth settings, and global funding mechanisms that support inclusive participation. Without that, we risk reinforcing existing divides even with the best intentions. And lastly, the third, shared ethics, shared trust. For any meaningful collaboration to happen, there needs to be trust. And that comes from aligning on ethical principles. Things like data rights, consent, environmental impact, and transparency need to be discussed not just within countries, but across them. And it's really encouraging to see some regional AI policy efforts starting to take shape. But it's important that underrepresented represented voices are part of shaping those standards too. To sum it up, if we want global AI collaboration to succeed, it needs to be inclusive, it needs to be decentralized, and it needs to be grounded in shared values, not just shared technology. That is how we build something truly sustainable and equitable. Thank you, Professor Habib.
I'd like to take some note from Dr. Sandeep Mathur that inclusive and then global funding, collaborative, and definitely ethical driven trust must be there. I'd like to add the one thing is that suppose as a researcher, when I have a publication in the traditional publisher like the McGraw-Hill, Pearson, and when I have a publication, the open access like the InTech and so on, and when I was interviewed by the publisher, they asked me the question, which one you are feeling comfortable? We mentioned a few times that we are feeling comfortable with the open access. We need a lot of participants, a lot of the young scholars, researchers to use our citation, to use our references for the further research work. So if we cannot go to this kind of open access policy, that would be very difficult. Even any kind of research, our ultimate target, the publication, without this one, you do not know what is happening. So maybe we have to take this note from the Dr. Sandeep as well. So very good, interesting point now. So now we like to move to our next one. Our next one is that our Dr. Mohammed Riyad from Australia. Dr. Riyad, please.
Thank you, Professor Mamun Habib. Just in my opinion, just one of the most important steps, I believe, is to ensure that AI tools, I mean freemium AI tools, should be accessible for all university, for research and innovations, for all educators. So right now, if you look, many universities, why they are behind, because they have capability, they have expertise, because our researchers, many of researchers, I have talked with them, they completed their PhD from Western country, they have highly clever, they are very skillful, they know how to do research, they're ready to contribute, but they don't have funding, don't have access, don't have infrastructure. So I have opportunities to talk with NVIDIA. As you know, ExpertGate also closely work with NVIDIA, because NVIDIA, they are now top leading technology industry. So I just asked them, why not you give the opportunities or like access for the university professors, students? So they said, we have a lot of options. We have a lot of resources for them. And our teachers, our especially like the many countries, they don't know, the channel, they don't know the networks. I believe we have a lot of resources around the world. We have to find out. We have to exactly see where is the network or where is the resources is. So this is first step. Second step is the key step is to extend global research collaboration is the main, especially if we look the university. Yes, we can see many university around the world. They already working, the globally. It's really positive. We see very positive. However, many others universities still they are behind. As earlier I mentioned, because of their limited resource and infrastructure, insufficient infrastructure and international lack of international network. That's why we need to actively encourage our university to think beyond national, boundaries. The collaboration should not stop a local or regional level. It must be global, because I have opportunities to talk with few university. Recently, we are working one of the project, we are working one of the project Indian researcher, Australian researcher, and New Zealand researcher. So both three country researcher, we just applied, the all ethics or the other applications to our Australian government. It's very easy, straightforward. They approve. New Zealand government approve. When we back the other countries, so many complex. They make it simple things, make it very very complex. So we have to make all the step, all the policies easier for our researchers, so that our researchers they can explore. Sometimes our university thinking why our researchers they are working here and there. Maybe they are earning money. No, they are gathering knowledge. They are exploring. They are communicating. They try to get resources. These our researchers doing. So I believe as a academic, as a working as a research, the international research partners at ExpertGate, I believe our university also encourage, give the opportunity so that to our researchers so that they can collaborate, they can work. We have funding Western country, we have country funding so many countries, and around the world they are waiting for the researcher. How many of researchers from Eastern countries they don't know? If you look the Australian, we have lots of resources, like lots of channel. You can collaborate, you can work. I believe all around the world they have the research collaboration funding is available for you. So this kind of information we have to pass to our researchers. This kind of information to share our researchers, so that our researchers they can play whatever capability they have, and they can contribute to our society. Thank you, Mohan.
Thank you, Dr. Riyad. As you mentioned, this issue is that global research collaboration. I'd like to add the one thing at this stage. Sometimes our professors, we should be the global professor, because if you could open our mind, then how we can go for the research? So we have to leave this one. I'd like to request everyone here, those are listening, those are here attending as a speaker. So let us start it this way. That you are the global professor. You're not bound to any country. You're not bound to any university. You have to bound to all over the world. By the research, how you can contribute to the society, that is our main target. That's why we are doing the collaborative research. If you have this kind of mindset, we believe that that's once a time we can add the values for the research. Suppose that what our Dr. Hatim, his specialization, and how about the specialization from the Dr. Rebuni, not the same. But when they work together, they can add the more values to the society by the research works. So maybe what I said that we are not belongs to any university, any country. We are belongs to the global. Thank you, Dr. Riyad, for your nice opinion. Now we'd like to go to the Dr. Hatim. Dr. Hatim, are you there? Please.
Yes.
Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Actually, I would like to thank Dr. Sandeep and Dr. Muhammad for their insightful solutions for these barriers. And also, I need to add that in order to overcome these regional and institutional barriers and promote more effective collaboration in AI research and innovations, strategic and inclusive approach is necessary. How we can do this? I can suggest 5 strategy in order to reach this. I will read it very quickly. for the time being. First one is leveraging open source AI projects. Open source AI tools, datasets, and platforms can democratize access to cutting-edge resources. By making these freely available, researchers from diverse regions and institutions, regardless of funding or infrastructure constraints, can both utilize and contribute to AI advancement. This fosters a global collaborative ecosystems, just like Dr. Sandeep. Building collaborative research network. This is another strategy. Establishing network that connect researchers across geographical and institutional boundaries is vital nowadays. These networks enable the exchange of knowledge, data, and expertise, creating an opportunity for joint innovations. Successful examples include partnership on AI focused on ethics and safety, and also AI governance. One of my students from China, he worked in a research in AI governance in enterprises in China. This can be also applied on AI governance in education and institutions and universities around the world in order to focus on ethics and safety of using the AI. Third strategy, promoting fundings model and that encourage collaborations. Funding agency should prioritize grants for projects that involve partnership across regions and institutions. By instigating collaborations, these models can bridge resource gap, bringing together diverse teams to tackle complex AI challenge. Fourth strategy, expanding education and training programs, offering AI-focused training to researchers, particularly in underrepresented regions and institutions, builds capacity and levels that playing field, equipping individuals with the skills to engage in AI research, ensure broader participation, and strengthen the global research community. Last but not least, implementing equity-driven policy. This is the governmental rule. Policies that promote data sharing, open access to research outputs, and target funding for underserved areas can address this issue. Governments and institutions should work to reduce structural barriers, ensuring that AI research opportunities are accessible for all. By adapting this strategy, from my opinion, we can create a more inclusive, equitable, and collaborative AI research landscape in higher education, breaking down barriers and maximizing the innovations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hatem. You raised the very key issues and already you discussed, so I don't want to repeat again, but we can take the note of your 5 issues. Maybe we can work together for the betterment of the society. Now let's move to the Dr. Rebuni, South Africa. Dr. Rebuni, please, you can share your opinion and thoughts.
Sure. Thank you so much, Prof. Habib. And to the former speakers, I think I appreciate the complexity and diversity of where we're coming from and the divide that is happening all across the world. So from a collaboration perspective, we believe that South Africa has got an opportunity to collaborate internationally, to your point that we need to break the barriers of saying we belong to this particular continent, but we are global citizens. And we need to have international ability to work together. However, when we look at how AI is built, most of the time it does not necessarily fit the local level. So I do agree that at the local level, we need to be testing the solutions that we get for local use. And at the end of the day, what it does, it says to our students, there are challenges that they're facing, but they are likely to get involved in the following things. The digital divide issue, for example, has an issue around limited connectivity in our country. So what does that mean? It excludes others, for example, the students from online learning. So how are we going to do that? We have to prioritize mobile network expansion for them to have access. So accessibility to that also is important. The device affordability in our country talks to another element of affordability from our learners and our students and our citizens. And it prevents access to this digital tool, limiting participation of all these good algorithms that we create. So what we need to be able to think of is establishing international community access point, digital hubs, digital labs, where we can be able to test this particular algorithms or devices, for example, but at a cheaper level. From a multilingualism perspective, what we actually also saying is the legislation of different countries also is a barrier. Understanding of this legislation at the global level, we need to be able to understand that it might lead us not to work efficiently. How are we going to do that as ExpertGate and as a team of collaborators? So we need to be able to close that communication gap. AI-powered content generation requires the law to be there, especially preventing confidentiality issues. Low digital literacy, we start off with digital literacy as a problem, and we're bringing AI on top of it. So we are double the literacy challenges. So how are we going to start with the digital literacy and go into AI literacy? So that itself, it talks to mistrust of technology at the end of the day, fear of fraud. So we need to be able to ask ourselves, AI-driven personalized learning at a community level is required, but we need to target digital literacy programs at that level. Limited technology access for our different sectors, especially our students or our learners, hinders digital adoption. So as an international community, how are we going to have this particular open innovation platform to co-create together and be able to have content-specific digital tools supporting the innovation at the lower level? So I'm talking from a bottom-up perspective because a lot of us have spoken at the top-down level, helping the community at the lower level. Lack of trust is also another important thing. So how are we going to have ability to help people understand this is where the world is going? So we need to have empathy-driven approach in adopting and transparent AI governance, robust cybersecurity measures, and effective communication of as benefits that they're going to get. And at the global level, again, we've got the skills mismatch. When the students have got a particular skills, we train them for something else. AI is saying they must learn something else. How quickly are we going to adopt for them to be augmented in training? And this calls for public-private partnership and also global partnership. Over to you, Prof. Habib.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I like to start from the last one, public-private partnership and global partnership. I believe Dr. Riyad, ExpertGate, can work on that like global partnership. Okay. Now, I'd like to move to our next one. Shireen, are you there?
Yes,
Please.
Professor Habib. Yes.
We have some time constraint, like because we like to invite our audiences to share their opinion. Please.
Yes, I can understand. Yeah, yes. Actually, so the most of the speakers, they have mentioned, so what are the solutions we can have to overcome these barriers? Like I like to mention, so I have mentioned previously, we have the skill gap. So it is better to have the workshops regarding AI. So how to use this type of AI and what are the AI tools available and how we can use. So those are the things we can do. I mean, the overcome barriers to overcome that challenge. And also we can encourage multilingual research collaborations where documents, papers, and softwares are made. So we are mostly focused on English. So, but if we can, so we can enhance so the language barriers by using these type of softwares. And also, I would like to, suggest to make some policies regarding, especially the Sri Lanka. Actually, I told so this is in early stage in Sri Lanka, how to use their using this AI. So all the governments, they can make new policies to how they can use this AI to our country and so on. So likewise they can do those. Overcome these barriers. So those are the things actually I want to mention, because other speakers all have mentioned what I have planned to speak in this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we have to move to our next part. We have covered a lot of ground so far. So now we would like to take some time to our audiences. So if you have any question or comment from audiences, please feel free to drop it in the chat now, and we'll take one or two before we wrap up. Okay. So now this is the time for the audiences. I would like to invite, I can see the few audiences, also open the camera. Khairul Azhar, do you want to join? Any queries, anything? Mr. Aminul Islam?
Can I speak?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Khairul Azhar from Malaysia. Actually, I just want to ask something about, especially when we use the AI, artificial intelligence, in terms of we want to maybe publish some paper or academic paper, so on. So, in terms of ethics, the ethics to write down the paper, especially because when we write the paper, we play with data. So some of the researcher maybe generates the dummy data actually by using the AI. So we are still didn't have any strong policies, ethics on that AI to use in terms of to generate academic papers. So how do you think about that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So very good issue he raised. I'd like to share with you that other experience. As you know that when you supervise the PhD scholars, they have to publish the paper. So usually we are using the software like targeting software, authenticate software. So there is the acceptance level. We are assuming similarity index 20%. Okay. So by the targeting, we can get that suppose that 18% or 17%, we can accept the paper. But why we like to check by the chat GPT, and it is very unfortunate. And I got this kind of experience that is more than 70% through the chat GPT. The now question is that in the targeting software, it is below 20% similarity index, but in chat GPT, we got this similarity index more than 70%. And but there is a lot of issues. So I just share with you, we don't come up with any decision, any kind of concrete remarks. Then we explore this one. It happens even the sum of the chat GPT is not accurate. So the what the similarity index is showing, even it happens comes from the like that author, but it doesn't come up there. So maybe we have to work on that, and we can do some the more research on that, and maybe we can do the arrange one seminar by the ExpertGate about this one, academic writing and publication, and the similarity index and plagiarism issue in terms of the chat GPT as well. But we have a lot of issues, and we believe we can work on that in the another seminar, another webinar. Thank you. Now we'd like to invite another audience. Another audience, please. Dr. Salma Akhtar, Joab Ali.
Well, in the meantime, if you don't mind me asking a question, I think some of our audience is actually typing in the chat. But
Okay.
I actually wanted to ask, we had this lovely conversation about making AI more affordable, more accessible to members across the globe, especially in developing countries, right? And so that so that they're not left out of this whole conversation. But with this focus on affordability, it often means trade-offs. Now, from your perspective, what should never be compromised, even in like low-cost AI solutions?
Thank you. Any other speaker you'd like to reply? Or otherwise, I will reply this one. Any speaker?
I can reply, Prof. Habib.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do a
Please.
50-50. Let's see both perspectives.
John, it's a very good question. It is a real trade-off. From a business perspective, there must be a trade-off. But from humanity perspective, the issue is line of defense is issues around ethics. It's actually around how ethical are we as designers of these algorithms, for example, to take into consideration that there are those who might not even know what is in this algorithm. They're just users, but we need to take care of them as well. So AI for good becomes an important driver for people to trust, but the guardrails that must be clear must be on ethics. We must be, and that will bring integrity of the things that we do.
Okay. I'd like to come to the Mr. John, that question again. As you are asking this to a low cost.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
When the issue of the costing, that time we have to come up with the decision, optimization.
Yep.
So sometimes it happens. If we go for the costing, then maybe we are not getting the good product. So it is also available in the tools, also available in the publication everywhere. So maybe in that case, we can do some of the cost optimization for the AI tools, and maybe we need some of the funding issue. Maybe you can request some research organization like ExpertGate and others, so that at least we can do some of the collaborative way. We can pay the suppose 50%. They can also provide the 50% fund. But for the knowledge sharing, we should not compromise the cost because the knowledge. And this issue is that knowledge dissemination. So you have to go for the best tools.
So I gather, from Professor Robone, it was on ethics, on that whole side of it, and from your perspective, it's reliability. The knowledge sharing of that AI should not be compromised, just so that you can have access to it. But how about yourself, Professor Sandeep? Did you have any other thoughts to add to this question?
No, actually, Dr. Riboni mentioned exactly what I was going to talk about. It's the trust and the accuracy of the results. Regardless of which part of the world you are in, that cannot be compromised.
Yeah.
Low bandwidth, high bandwidth, but whatever comes back, and Professor Habib was echoing very similar thing, right? So regardless of where you are, you should get the same results, wherever you are, right? From if you're using AI, because the results should not be location specific. That's all I have to add.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So now we can take one more question from the audience. Otherwise, we have to wrap up our session for today.
I believe there's a question in chat.
Yes. I just read from the chat. I'm Joab Ali from Pakistan. Okay. In artificial intelligence, working low resources language, we already mentioned in my own Shindi. Okay. So we have not enough of a corpus and also not the high competition. How get the expert help in this? Okay, you just give the good message that ExpertGate, they are working on that. And in near future, you can see the more outcome from the ExpertGate for this kind of collaboration, research collaboration. So I believe that Dr. Riyad, he will give the more features is coming to us, and inshallah, you'll get the idea about this one. Thank you, Joab, for the questions.
For Professor Habib, the ExpertGate, as earlier I mentioned, we are very closely working with NVIDIA, because as a researcher, I believe most of researchers, they don't know, because if you have very good, unique research concept or research proposal, you want to test some sort of, the AI thing, the AI, the research idea, or something that you want to develop for on your whether healthcare or engineering. So as you researcher, you can also directly you can explore NVIDIA. There are a lot of plenty of the resources for our academic, for our researcher. Also, we have, as an ExpertGate, we have very good the collaboration. So if any student, as a student mentioned, join up for Ali from Pakistan, if you need any support or the AI resources that you want to integrate on your project, not day-to-day use, the AI use, you are asking, okay, we want to use day-to-day AI, like we need premium version. But in Australia, still we are also using our own money to getting like premium version. But I believe currently we are doing the using our money. Very near future, or the AI will be very cost effective, so that our student and researcher, they will they will able to use, and it will be very affordable for us. But we can just can say from our ExpertGate, if you need anything for your project, we ExpertGate happy to contribute support.
Thank you, Dr. Riyad. So if there is no more question, I would like to go for the concluding remarks.
And also in regarding Professor, one question I have to you all,
Please.
academician here, or no expert from the university or also industry. Just one thing that, as I am when I'm thinking outside of ExpertGate, I'm when I go classroom, if you look I'm getting very beneficial from AI. So it's really my work, just nowadays very faster, and we are really using AI and beneficial. But when I look my student, if you look the student, they are they have lack of creativity, lack of the creative thinking, in the classroom. If you ask any question, they straight away forced to AI, and they get answer. They don't know this is correct, this is bias, this is what references the AI giving. They just put that the reference, the answer. But my concern is our future generations, how the way they are the thinking. This is something is concerning, because when I go classroom, because they are not critical thinking. Yeah, anyone can answer. How can we?
Yeah, Dr. Riyad, I like to give this answer.
Actually,
I like to start from the Elon Musk, what he said about the future innovation. Our future innovation are totally the vulnerable, and we don't know what will happen, uncertain. But when we are from the academics, from the researchers, we are the professors, so this is our responsibility. We have to highlight this kind of uncertainty, future challenges with our students. If you look very carefully, that if you can understand that when you get the solution for the chat GPT, when you're getting the answer, even when you're not sure that right or wrong, it is a collapsing our innovation and creativity. And that's why we like to focus one thing. Okay, we can accept the AI, but at the same time, human driven. Human must be with the AI. So even that, automation is good, but nowadays Industrial Revolution 5.0, we said human driven AI. So we have to focus that one with our students because there is no alternative of the innovation creativity. And I'm so little bit worried what the Dr. Riyad asking. Who knows, after 50 years, we will not get the good research at all because we have the AI. So how we can modify this one? What our Elon Musk mentioned. So now we have to start to think from our academics perspective. Thank you. Anybody want to share any opinion?
Actually, I want to share this opinion because as a professor, a lot of university around the world, I face this issue that most of students go to ChatGPT, make the questions, take it and copy paste the answers without giving them 5 seconds to think what they are writing, what they are copying. It's similar a decade ago when students make a copy and paste similarity from the source of the internet. It's similar like that. That's why I'm teaching my students how to use the AI. We cannot stop them to use the AI. We cannot tell them do not use ChatGPT because it's out of our hands. But at least they need to train and they need to learn how to use the AI, how to put their human in the AI.
Thank you.
Professor Habib, I would like
Yeah.
to offer my opinion on this one, and I am a
Please.
behaviorist scientist. So for me, this is quite important in terms of the cognitive loss of our ability to use our own cognition for
Yes.
reasoning, for creativity, for decision making. So it becomes an important element of research to think about how much of cognitive loss is going to happen over time based on this particular kind of behavior that we're beginning to see, because it's obviously going to have that impact over time. We need to start working on it. And what I'm thinking is ability to have laboratories internationally as then have this as a concept that is mapped out to Dr. Riyad's as a challenge. And what solution can we get? And maybe solution might come from AI. I think there's another way of looking at it. My way of thinking is around how do we help students to help them brainstorm with AI, not necessarily take from AI, meaning impute into AI to say, I have a problem, let's have a conversation about that. Then it becomes a conversational where you bring your own mindset, and that's human behavior interaction. For me, that is a place or a research area that I think I would really like to collaborate with a lot of people on it, because that's where the world is going to go. And as academics, we are really going to be challenged. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Shandip, you want to add something, Dr. Shandip?
Yeah, I just wanted to actually just add that this is a great productivity tool we have now available. Let's use it, right? And if you go back 2 or 3 decades when calculators came, I was not allowed calculator in my class, right? Because they said, no, once you start using calculator, that's not good, right? You got to do it with your own fingers, do all the calculation, right? But like, the calculators are now here and everyone uses it. Now on the phones, we got a very powerful, computing device. I think the key thing for us is to harness the power we have, and it's not a replacement but augmentation. How if I have 3 ideas, how can I use Chat GPT to actually develop that idea further, right? And we have this generation has a phenomenal opportunity which previous generations did not have. Let's just use it to go faster and much better, right? And human in the loop, I think that's everyone is talking about it. We cannot ignore human, right? Human needs to be in the center. Yeah.
Right. Thank you to all of our incredible speakers for your contributions today. It has been an inspiring and enriching session, and we've only just scratched the surface. And this is the starting of our discussion. As we look ahead, let us stay connected, share ideas, and above all, continue to break barriers to build a better, smarter, more inclusive world through artificial intelligence. As the president and strategic advisor, Global Research Partnership at ExpertGate, as well as the program chair of today's session, I'd like to give a special thanks to everyone. Stay connected with everyone, and that is the way that how we can ensure the global research platform. Certificates of appreciation will be sent to all speakers shortly after the event. On behalf of the ExpertGate team, thank you and say goodbye. See you again.